Let's head down to Pleasantville and talk Pace men's basketball with Trey Alexander. He is the nation's leader in assists this season, more than 2 assists per game, more than he had a year ago when he led the nation in assists. Trey, congrats on the season. What's going on with finding your teammates?
Thank you. Appreciate you for having me. Nothing really, honestly. They've been hitting shots. They've been finding open seams and making my life a lot easier than it needs to be, honestly. Um, we have a good chemistry. We have a good group. So those assists come natural when you're playing the right way and you got good teammates around you that's hitting shots and making shots at a high level. So that's all that really is.
Tell me about your game. I mean, you've always been a high assist guy. Why is that? Where did that start?
Honestly, growing up, I've been around a couple programs that and a couple coaches that preach just playing the right way. Growing in my time of basketball, like there's just a lack of pure point guards nowadays, I guess. But I find the joy in seeing other people succeed and seeing other people hit shots and have their success that way. So for me, it makes my life easier when I can find them and they spread the floor, they make their shot that they need to, and it makes my life easier when it's time for me to score. So it just comes from playing the right way. I've grown up playing AAU at Crown Basketball with Christy Aspara. I played prep school basketball with Coach Brian Baudinet, and they just preached you got to be a team first guy, and pass first is going to be the way that you get into school and make your living. So that's kind of where that came from.
There's making passes and then there's making passes. You make some fancy ones from time to time. We posted one the other day of you had the easiest and smoothest steal I've ever seen out into the breakaway kind of no look. Um, when do you elevate your game from like I'm finding my teammates to I'm finding people that don't expect the ball is coming because I see them and know they're open, but they don't even know they're open.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you that one because like I'm just playing the way that I was taught to play, and it naturally ends up happening for me. Like on that fast break, Justin was getting ready to stop running. I'm like, no, come on, I got you, bro. So it's just things like that that I try to pick up on and make my life easier. And I'm a smaller guy. Everybody wants to block my shot. It makes so it makes passing a lot easier for me too. So
Who do you look up to? Who were your point guard idols?
honestly, growing up, I was a big Derrick Rose fan. Um, when I was younger, people used to say I look like him, so I'm a big Derrick Rose fan. But as I got older and really watched the game and studied the game, obviously, like the Chris Pauls, the Steve Nashes, the Jason Kidds, and then nowadays, like the Trey Youngs, in a sense, Jalen Brunsons, in a sense. So I've kind of just studied all the great point guards in my mind. I don't really have any specific guys that I watch or are my favorites anymore. But growing up, it was Derrick Rose, ironically.
What does it take to be a great pass first point guard?
Um, I think it's more about your character than anything. I like to think that I'm a good leader, and good leaders have to get their teammates going in order for everyone to succeed or the team to succeed. So, I think it comes down to your character, like who you are as a person, and if you like to really see other people succeed and be better, or if you're really selfish or more within yourself and you want all the glory for yourself. Like the assist and everything is cool for me, but it's more because I'm happy because my team is succeeding right now at a pretty high level, and my teammates are succeeding as well. So I think it's really through your character and who you are as a person.
How did you learn beyond that to read the floor, to play with defenses a little bit, to get teams to do what you want them to be able to do?
I just think it came from playing so much. I've been playing basketball since I was 4, and then growing up, you play against all these different types of people and defenses, and you see all these different teams. So I just think, and I was always once again smaller, so I had to find little nicks and knacks to make impacts on the floor. So I just think growing up and playing throughout the game and however long I've been playing, seeing these different defenses and picking up on little things. And obviously, I watch a lot of basketball. That's kind of what I do in my off time. So a lot of NBA, a lot of college. I want to be a coach when I'm done, hopefully. So I just study the game, and you start to pick up on little things that you may not have noticed or other people may not notice, but it works out for you. So
Let's talk about your career path a little bit because you're in your second year at Pace. Before that, you were down in Florida, and before that, you were at St. Rose back in the NE10. Walk me through, I guess, first what took you to Albany, and then kind of what's been your journey and why each stop has been the right one for you.
yeah, so I got recruited by a few NE10 schools coming out of high school. I graduated when COVID had just hit, so the year after that was kind of just everything's up in the air. Mike Murray and Mike Perno actually recruited me really hard out of high school. A few others did, but they recruited me really hard. They were trying to reestablish something there. Obviously, St. Rose was really good before I got there, and they had a couple down years. So they were just trying to reestablish that culture, that winning ways, and they brought in a bunch of young guys. So I just wanted to be coming out of high school. I just wanted to be somewhere where I could potentially play a lot and really impact the game early. And we had a lot of young teammates, so the thought of going there just seemed well with me in terms of okay, we have a lot of young guys, we can win, we're talented, and we can grow together. So that's how I ended up at St. Rose. They did recruit me really hard. I had a good relationship with them. So
What brought you to Pace?
uh, I've had a pretty good relationship with this staff for a while. They recruited me out of high school. Obviously, they recruited me when I left the portal from St. Rose. But one of my good friends, Brian Powell, we played basketball together at the Canterbury School, so we were really good friends. And for me, leaving Florida, I wanted to come back home and be comfortable and try to. Obviously, I wanted to win and everything, but I wanted to be near my family and get back to a comfortable space to play the best basketball that I could possibly play to finish my career. So like the staff recruited me hard. I have a really good relationship with them, and all the pieces fit. Like it was a no brainer for me to just come back home and play at pace and be around family, but be around people that love me and want to see me succeed and whatnot. So
What is it about guards named Trey who transferred from St. Rose to Pace?
I don't know. It's a little something different because this one we got here, he's a young guy, but he can go. He can go. So he's been helping me a lot too.
Trey Boyd, for those at home that don't know, you got a couple of Treys. How do you guys differentiate yourselves in practice? When coach yells Trey, do you both look?
For the most part. Yeah, for the most part. But we kind of go by initials over here. So I'm TA, he's TB. But it depends. Obviously, in the moment, you know somebody's talking, you know who you're talking to at some point. So we'll both pretty look most of the time though.
You've talked about leadership a little bit. When you played at St. Rose, you were a captain, like your freshman year. So you walked on campus and people looked at you that way. Why is that? Like, what did it feel like to be a freshman captain, and why do your teammates? It's weird to talk about yourself that way, but like, why do your teammates gravitate to you in that sense?
Personally, I feel like I understand people in different ways. So, like, I understand how to talk to one guy more than or I can't talk to him the same as I can talk to this guy and things like that. But for most part, growing up, I was a captain on most of my teams, but it was something that my coaches always instilled in me. Like, you can't be a point guard and not be a leader. And I think those qualities just kind of had to come out when I got to college. Like, I really want to win. Winning is one of the biggest things that I want to do. So in order for me to win, I have to figure out ways to do that. But in order for me to do that, I have to lead at a high level to try to get these guys going, even during down times, good times, whatever it is. I got to keep us level headed at times. So it's really just the fact that I'm the point guard. So the ball's in my hands a little bit, but I do have to lead so that everybody else we could keep this train rolling and everybody can stay on track.
Walk me through this season for you guys. What has clicked that's had you, ranked in the top 10 at various points throughout the year?
Honestly, this type of group, I feel like we have a lot of guys who one know what they're good at. We have an identity here that everyone is held to the same standard, and we know what gets us to win. And for the most part, that's defense. Like, so we have a bunch of guys. Whoever's on the court at all times, you have to be able to guard if you're going to play. But it also for us, you have to be able to guard if you're going to win. So I think we click on both ends of the floor. We have a really good group. Not a lot of egos here, and we got a bunch of guys that mesh and like each other. So like that's helped me in my opinion. That's what's helped us in the beginning. I missed the whole preseason with a broken foot, and then I came back and it was like I didn't miss a beat just because everybody was clicking and it was easy for me to fit right back in and with my qualities and everything that I bring. So I think we just have a really good connected group. The chemistry is really well, and everybody has the same goal in mind.
It's interesting because Coach said before the year started, when he recruited you, you talked a lot about culture and you talked a lot about winning and leadership and those things. And his quote was that you said you bring your own culture. What does that mean? And why was that something that was important for you?
Yeah, for me, I don't want people to misinterpret that quote at all. But obviously, I'm not here to change anyone's culture. I'm here to try to enhance it and be an extension of that. So like I'm an extension of coach, but I'm an extension of this program as well. So I try to just bring those qualities out. And everybody says the word culture gets thrown around a lot, in my opinion. But for me, it's the little things. What you do when you're losing, what you do when things are bad, with how you react to certain things, and this and that. So for me, like I like to think that I'm a level-headed person, but my culture is just I'm gonna do what it takes to win, and we're gonna have those conversations. They could be tough, they could be hard, but at the end of the day, we love each other, so we can kind of mesh and iron it out nice and quick, so we can get the train rolling and keep going. So,
You said you've played basketball since you were 4. What do you do that's not basketball?
whew, that's tough. Growing up, growing up, I did play 4 sports. I played lacrosse, basketball, football, and I ran track. Um, but outside of basketball, I don't know. I kind of this has been it for the past, I don't know, 22 years, 23 years. So I don't know.
Um, Pace was just picked second preseason in the men's lacrosse poll. So have the coaches over there talked about what you're going to do when your basketball eligibility's up?
Nah, I don't think anyone knows I played lacrosse, thankfully. But I'm from
Um,
Long Island. I had to.
um, what is it about basketball? Like, why did that from a very young age? Why was this your home?
Honestly, uh, I don't know. It kind of like everything just turned and navigated towards this way. Like I've always played basketball, but football was probably my first love, and everything just kind of the ball just kind of fell this way. So for me, it was something that I was decent at growing up, and it was easy for me to work out because I could just go to a court and have my basketball and work out. I could always have my basketball with me. So honestly, it just the things kind of fell into place that way.
And Trey, congratulations on the season that you've had so far. Best of luck. I know you guys are in a really good spot right now, so hope things continue to go well for you, and hopefully we'll see you there at the finish line.
Thank you. I appreciate it.